are watching Beyond the Highlights. I am your host, Brian Mossallam, with my two co-hosts, Vern Crump and Jason Strayhorn. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Great.
How you doing, Coach?
Good. Been a good summer. Back to school. Kids back to school.
Back to school, and the weather's changing.
It has.
Yeah.
Fall. Fall signifies school, and you know what?
Football season.
And a host of other
volleyball.
seasons. Yeah. Yep. Host of other seasons. So, looking at some of the high school football teams locally, I see Robichaud's off to a 3-0 start.
Oh, yeah, doing a great job, 3-0. We got a young quarterback, Jarvis Grissom. He's a 10th grader. Very strong kid. He's going to be good. Annapolis is, they play Edison Academy today, all right? And I think we have Forest, and it was 3-0 as well.
Yeah, Forest is 3-0. I think they're ranked Division I. I think number 7 in the state. They played Crestwood last week.
How was that game? Did you check the game out?
You know, they jumped out to a early lead of 21-0. I thought Crestwood played well after that and hung in there. And Fortson won. Made some mistakes, but football's a team game, you know.
Yeah.
Totally team sport.
Crestwood's got SO4 tonight. Not tonight, but this week.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it should be an interesting year. You know, I think you're seeing the kids in the area, I think, really get better, take more of a liking to football, more involvement, more engagement. A lot of it do with our little leagues.
Yeah.
Dearborn Heights, especially Dearborn Heights Raiders, doing a very good job of bringing these kids up. So I think that the future looks bright for Dearborn Heights. You know, I think Crestwood is going to benefit from the little league program. So is Annapolis. So is Robichaud. So
yeah, and you also have the Redskins, Dearborn Heights Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins as well.
Producing a lot of good kids.
I mean, that's key. Yeah, if you can develop the kids at an early age like that, it makes it so much easier for the high school coaches and the varsity and JV levels. Once the kids have already understood the plays, understand the terminology from a young age, when they get to high school, it makes it very easy to transition.
It makes the motion very natural.
Yes.
The game come a lot easier. You know, it's just a natural. Football is something that's a learned behavior, and the more you play it, it's all repetition. The more practice you get, so.
You know, and talking about that, one of the good things that I noticed about the Dearborn Heights Little League football is that the organizations do a great job of running the same system throughout their programs, and they bring them up from the small all the way up to the varsity. So that helps a lot.
That's what Allen Park does well. Their 8-year-olds are running the same offense that their high school runs, so these kids, these kids sit in that run that same system for 8 to 10 years or so. It makes a big difference. Yeah. So what other sports are going on in the area?
We got some good volleyball being played around here. Annapolis is 3-0. Yeah, Annapolis is 3-0 and 1-0 in the league, and also Crestwood as well. So I'm not sure when they're going to match up, but that should be an interesting matchup when they
Very interesting. Volleyball's a tough sport. Let's talk about timing and just hand-eye coordination. It's a very difficult sport, you know.
Pump, set, spike.
Yeah.
That's all I know about.
And that's a carryover from volleyball to basketball as well.
Sure.
With the timing and everything.
Yeah.
So is it anything? Girls soccer's kicked off as well too.
Yeah.
Going well. So I think fall. It's when you get right back into school, and it's the kids that seem to have been in camp and doing the 2-a-days or the practices and getting ready, they seem to be the ones to adjust to the first day of school a lot easier than some of the other kids that just come in for the first time, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
they've been around their teammates for about a month before running and, out in that hot sun in the summer, the very limited hot sun that we got here in Michigan.
Yeah, it was limited.
Yeah.
We didn't have a hot summer.
No, not
at all.
Not like back when we were kids, right?
I'll tell you. I think we had 1 or 2 90-degree days all summer. It was not hot at all. So
no.
And it's getting cold pretty quick. It's like the last couple of days.
Yeah, who turned the air conditioner on?
I know.
I'm fighting with my wife about turning on the heat. You guys having that problem at home yet?
Yes.
I turn the heat on. I hate the cold. I'm not waking up to 66 degrees. I'm not waking up to 66 degrees. I'm not into that. Switching gears a little bit to college football. So we've kicked off the season.
Kicked it off.
Start with Michigan State. Opened up.
Don't we always start with Michigan State, don't we?
I think that's appropriate. They're higher ranked, so it might be appropriate.
Just going from the top to the bottom.
Yeah. They opened up with a nice tune-up at home, and then they went on the road. They were up by 9, 6 minutes left in the third quarter at Oregon, Outson Stadium, which is Jason and I were both there.
Oh,
it's
really?
Unbelievable.
That game seemed to just switch. The momentum switched.
It did.
At some point.
It did. And their quarterback made some great plays. They get you on tilt over there, 1-3 and out. Offense scores, the crowd gets louder and gets louder and gets louder, and it just starts to snowball,
What do you guys think about the coaching battle in that game? I mean, I kind of saw a coaching battle going on.
Yeah, there was a coaching battle, but I mean, you can't take away from that kid Mariota, the quarterback. And that's probably the best quarterback we've seen since Russell Wilson a few years ago from Wisconsin, who just won a Super Bowl trophy over in Seattle. And Seattle's fans, the fan base, that's probably one of the most intimidating fan bases in the NFL. And a lot of the Oregon Duck fans are Seattle fans. They were at the game that was played on Thursday night in Seattle when they beat the Packers. And then those same fans come over to Alton Stadium on Saturday and cheered on another victory for the Ducks. But I mean, it's progress. It's a process for Michigan State to get to the top of that mountain right now. I mean, they're playing a top 10 team. It's something they haven't done while they've been ranked in the top 10 in a long time. We're talking since 1966. So it takes some getting used to understand that it is a game of adjustments, as you were saying about the coaching battle. We adjusted. They made some other adjustments.
Their quarterback just made plays.
There's more plays than our quarterback.
I mean, Michigan State had 10 sack opportunities and got 3 of them. They missed them 7 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's Houdini-like.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the way he got out of it. And then after watching that game and watching some of the film, you saw the way that quarterback ran around. I mean, Michigan State's defense held them to 13 yards rushing first half. They had 7 3-and-outs on defense. And after I watched that game, I didn't think Michigan State was outmatched. I did not. I thought they were out-executed. That's, in that years past, we would say, hey, they got out physical, they were outmatched, the other team had better athletes, better players. I didn't feel like that walking away.
What role do you think speed plays? I mean, Oregon's got a reputation.
I thought we had just as much speed. I thought we had just as much speed. I thought it was just simply a matter of execution. Missed assignments, didn't line up, and then their quarterback made plays. That's why he's a Heisman Trophy winner, Heisman Trophy candidate.
Right. Don't give it to him already.
Right, I know.
It's a long way to go.
He's got my vote right now, anyway.
Yeah, he's got my vote. He was phenomenal. So and in Arbor, I think things are a little different.
A little different. They're 2-1.
They're 2-1. Their fan base is not happy.
Yeah.
To put it politely.
Yeah, to put it politely. They played their last game against Notre Dame, who canceled the series against Michigan indefinitely. Was that 2 weeks ago in South Bend? A lot of people there, and it was 31-0. Michigan didn't do well. They're not running the ball well. They're not blocking anybody. Could have been 37-0, but I think they took back a pick 6 at the end of the game.
Yep.
But just not score that on the road, I mean, against a rival like that, is tough to swallow for Michigan.
And Miami of Ohio's, their front line really battled with Michigan's.
They did.
They did.
They matched up with them.
Miami of Ohio's lost 18 games in a row.
Yeah.
I think Michigan's having a hard time blocking people right now.
Yeah.
They got a big game this week. Utah's coming into Ann Arbor, and Utah's a little bit better than people think.
Yes.
They're in the Pac-12. They beat Stanford last year. Most of those kids are back. And I'm telling you, if there's ever a game in Brady Hoke's tenure that's a
make
or break must-win game, it's this one. It's this one because there are a lot of people right now wondering what's going on with Michigan football. And they got the recruits. This is his 4th year. And there's just a lot more questions. Yeah, there's a lot more questions than answers. There's a lot more questions than answers. And the fan base in Ann Arbor, the Michigan fans are used to winning. They're just not going to put up with that.
No.
They're not going to put up with it.
Yeah, he's going to want to. He has to win this game to save that locker room. I think it's going to be fractured. The fan base is going to be all over him, and then it becomes about things outside of football. So it's going to be even tougher to win going down the road.
I mean, I still think he's a good coach. I think their offensive coordinator is a great guy, great coach. He was at Michigan State, and their defensive coordinator has a great reputation. They're still Michigan. They're still Michigan. They can still recruit kids. They still have national appeal. They should be able to win. I mean, they just should be able to win. So it's going to be interesting to see how these kids respond and how they play Saturday.
Yeah, but that line's got to step it up for sure.
They've got to step it up.
What's interesting is last year they had 2 guys get drafted. They had a 1st rounder and a 3rd rounder.
On the offensive line, and they weren't that good.
And then a 4th rounder, I believe he was, Schoenfeld.
Yeah.
And they didn't play that well, and so this year now.
They don't have a draft pick on the line. And you have two
right
new
now.
starters right now, right? And you have a true freshman starting at left tackle, which has never happened in the history of Michigan football. So it's tough for
Devin Gardner just doesn't look comfortable back
Yeah.
there. He doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't look decisive.
I don't know what quarterback would feel comfortable behind that line, to be honest with you.
Might be the time to bring in the freshman from De La Salle, that Shane Morris.
Shane Morris.
He's got a gun.
He does. The lefty.
A lefty, you know. He's got a gun. So it'll be interesting. That's why they got to play the games.
Yep.
Shifting gears a little bit to the Tigers. Tigers are up
Game and a half.
game and a half.
First place.
Magic number's 12.
Got a little momentum going.
They do. 3 Cy Young winners on the staff.
Veteran ball club.
Veteran ball club right now. I think their experience is starting to show. I think KC's faltering a little bit.
Yep.
They've got 2 left at Minnesota, then go to KC. If there's ever a team you do not want to play in the playoffs, it's got to be the Tigers.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. They're getting hot when the time is right now. The veteran ball club, as you said, is going to show. I think it's going to really prove to be tough for everybody going down into the playoffs in October.
I mean, if you got a 5-game series and you're staring at Scherzer, Price, Verlander, even you got Porcello and Sanchez. I mean, you do not want to play the Tigers.
Yeah,
I think maybe like the relief pitching might catch up with them as you get on further into the playoffs. But they got the talent.
They definitely have the talent. It'll be exciting. We want to see them actually win one. For the outgoing
Mr. Illich,
owner.
he's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting up there in years,
old.
and he's putting all of his resources into trying to get another ring. So hopefully he does it.
They're definitely trying to win now, huh? They're definitely trying to win now, right?
That's right.
Switching gears over to a little bit of NFL. It's been an interesting couple weeks here in the NFL.
It has been a little
interesting.
I mean, the Lions are 1-1. They started off looking great on Monday night a couple weeks ago.
Not even talking about the Lions.
I know that. And then, but we are. This is local. And then they had a loss, and they kind of look like the same old Lions. But as a whole, the league hasn't really been focused on football.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back to the Lions.
Now
I want to go back to the Lions.
You want to go back?
When we watched this past Sunday, watching the Lions,
how'd you feel
2
about
missed
it?
field goals, couple fumbles,
Turnovers.
couple interceptions, a couple roughing the passers. I mean, it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Different coach, same thing.
Same thing. It's 1 win in 56 years, 1 playoff win. I mean, what do we have to do to change that? It's unbelievable how that formula is. It's just consistent.
It is consistent. And you look at Matthew Stafford looked great in this first game, and then this game he kind of looked like Matthew Stafford of old. You've got Megatron out there, Calvin Johnson. He does what he's going to do.
I know Carolina's got a great defense,
I get it.
and their front seven's phenomenal, and they're tough, they're ball hawking. I get all that, but like Joique Bell ran to save his life last year. Signs a contract, and he's dropping the ball all over the place. I mean that's the third fumble I've seen him have preseason and regular season so far. And last year he didn't put the ball on the carpet once.
That's right.
I like Coach Caldwell,
yes.
and I think they can win with Coach Caldwell. And
Talking to some players, they love him.
They love
the Lions.
him.
They love him. They do. They think that he understands the game. He understands what it takes for guys to get physically ready to play games. He gives them enough rest, and he understands the detail that it takes to win because he's won Super
Everybody
Bowls
says
before.
he commands respect.
Yeah.
All the players absolutely respect him and the way he carries himself, and he's got a different kind of demeanor than a Lions coach that we've had before in the past. He's more stoic, he's more quiet, more matter of fact. So
I think it's going to take time to change the culture within the whole organization as well.
it's taken 56 years, Coach.
Well, I mean, with this new coach.
With the
new coach.
Okay.
You got to give him a little bit of time. But you can already see some signs, just the way the players are responding to him.
Yeah.
So even some of the interviews that you see from the players, I think, have changed a little bit. Some are responding a little bit more positively and maturely, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll carry over to some wins.
So, anyway, but talking about the NFL in general, there's been some interesting news regarding Ray Rice, Greg Hardy, Adrian Peterson. Tell me your thoughts a little bit on the Ray Rice situation.
I think that the NFL had a collective bargaining agreement deal in place. I mean, I saw the video before the one that showed what happened outside of the elevator, and you knew what had happened.
That's exactly right? The show were dragging out, so you assumed whatever you knew what happened inside.
Exactly. You knew
why does everything change just because the video was made public?
It gets leaked by TMZ, who seems to get all the videos and pictures.
They get everything, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Because they had a blank check. That's why.
It's unreal.
So, now that they had given him a 2-game suspension, and the video of what happened inside the elevator comes out, now they suspend him indefinitely. I think the NFL's got a black eye from a lot of places because from a PR standpoint, that's bad. And from a legal standpoint, from Ray Rice's perspective, it's bad. Because I think he has a legal leg to stand on. As bad as I feel about what he did, and I don't think it's right at all, you can't condone any of that behavior. There was an agreement in place.
Yeah.
He was sentenced. You can't put him in double jeopardy here.
Yeah. The problem with the league is when they made a mistake, they were kind of wishy-washy about the decisions that they made, plain and simple. I mean, when something like that happens, in my opinion, you should definitely get a suspension.
Yes.
And then the legalities of the situation should dictate what happens with your particular organization that you work with.
That's right.
And to jump the gun and then have to make a second decision on top of the decision that you already made.
Did they see the video? Did they not see the video?
That's the thing. First, Goodell says he didn't see the video.
Right.
And then they leak a voicemail from a reporter leaks a voicemail saying they got the video with an NFL employee saying it looks terrible. They got her voicemail from her. Mm-hmm. And then Goodell says Ray Rice never told him that he punched her. And then Ray Rice's lawyer come on and said, yes, he did. While he was interviewed, he said he punched her. So I think Roger Goodell's in big trouble.
I know.
My prediction is he's gone.
You think he's gone?
I think he's gone. I don't think he survives this.
It's going to be tough to survive. It's going to be tough to survive.
Once the sponsors start pulling out.
I think the owners are on his side.
Right now.
Yeah.
But once the sponsors start pulling out, you watch. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah. The one thing I think
I'm with you on the double jeopardy.
The NFL is so big.
They are big.
They're so powerful.
I'm with you.
That if there's somebody who's going to pull out, there's going to be another company that jumps right back in.
I'm with you.
The fan base is too strong,
and the thing that we have to think about is the prosecution of what's happening to him in this situation.
Right.
The decision that's made with the prosecutor is going to dictate what happens with the NFL, because if that's a small, like you said, he's got a leg to stand on. No matter how horrible it is, if it comes out to be a small sentence or something to that effect,
right.
Then you want Goodell's head.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting.
So we'll be back with. We're going to take a short break here on Beyond the Highlights. We're going to be back with Danny Torres, Vice President of the Dearborn Heights Soccer Club and Michigan Mustangs, to discuss a little local soccer. Stay with us. Welcome back to Beyond the Highlights. We are now joined by our guest, Danny Torres, who is Vice President of the Dearborn Heights Soccer Club and Michigan Mustangs. Danny, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on board.
Good. Tell us a little bit about your club and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we're the Dearborn Heights Soccer Club, a nonprofit volunteer organization. We've been in the community for about 30 plus years, giving affordable soccer to the local youth. We have 3 different programs in our 4 different programs in our club. We start with the young ones at 4 years old. They are under the Mini Mustangs program. We teach them more fundamentals of soccer, how to interact with other kids, do a little playing, more or so just to get them exposed to the sport and other people, to start socializing and getting that interaction with other kids. From there, we move on to our youth development program, where we have kids from ages 5 to 8 years old, where they pick up more of the technical training, a little more intense, a little more longer trainings. They go for hour sessions twice a week. And we do some scrimmages and in-house games on the weekends. Okay. Then we have our travel program, which is our recreational program, from 9 years old up to 18 years old. The recreational program is for more, novice players, ones who don't take it too competitively, just want to go out, have some fun, and meet new friends and get a little exercise in during the week. And they also, we practice with them twice a week, depending on the age group, anywhere from 1 hour to 90 minutes a day. And they play on the games on the weekends. We are part of the Western Suburban Soccer League, There's over 7,800 kids in that league, I believe.
Wow.
So it's a huge organization. And then we have our Select and Premier program, which is under the Michigan Mustangs S.C. football club.
Now that's a whole separate league.
The league is still in Whistle, it's just higher competition.
Higher competition.
Okay, for the Select.
Are those tryout teams?
Those are tryout teams. We have tryouts mid-June, Saturday and Sunday. Generally, right around Father's Day is when the tryouts are that weekend. You come out, you try out, you get selected. If you don't get selected, we encourage you to come and still participate in the program, but in the recreational side to build up your skills, train a little more until you're ready to move up and compete at those levels. For the Premier program, we compete in the Michigan State Premier Soccer League, and those are a step above the Select. Those also require tryouts on the same weekend. Currently, we have 4 Premier teams in the club. We have our 98 Mustangs. They're pretty successful
These
team.
are just Dearborn Heights kids, all of these kids?
So it's open to anybody. I mean, we have kids from Garden City, we have kids from Livonia, we have kids from Dearborn, a couple kids come from Canton, so it's downriver as well. So it's open to the whole community. It's not just local kids. So
is there a lot of travel required with those?
Yeah, the traveling. We travel within a 30-mile radius of Plymouth. So furthest from this area here, Dearborn Heights, it's about an hour drive. You have 4 home games, which is here local, and 4 away games. Generally, you travel out to Ann Arbor, Plymouth, Livonia, Canton. Some have to travel further to Lansing, Manchester, just south of Ann Arbor area. So, and with the Premier program, you travel pretty much statewide. You can go up to Traverse City, Kalamazoo, Saginaw, Grand Rapids. So the Premier program requires a much more traveling and a little more commitment and dedication.
So let's go back to your Dearborn Heights program. How many kids you got, Dearborn Heights kids in the program?
Currently, we have about 250 kids.
Wow, that's
so
great.
We just try to keep it small. It's a little more manageable. We're more focused on quality than quantity. So we don't want to be, like your Ford Motor Company or GM where you're pushing 1 million cars out a year. We want to be more like your Rolls Royce. Here's your 200, here's your 100 cars for the year. So,
is there a playing requirement per kid on these teams on the Dearborn Heights Club? If a kid's on a team, does he have to play so many minutes a game?
Well, it depends on the level you're playing on. There are league rules, but there's also coaches have rules as well. Playing time is dictated by the league. Recreational, they require 50% of playing time. The Select is 1/3 of a game. Premier, you're guaranteed 0 playing time. But then also, coach can put rules into place. Say, if you're not showing up at practices, you're going to lose playing time. How you perform in practices also can dictate your playing time. But most importantly, how you're performing during the game, the actual game. So, if you're struggling on the field, you may not. Your playing time may be reduced a little bit, but all in all, the coaches are pretty fair, keep it pretty even, and kids really enjoy the sport. What is
the cost to Dearborn Heights residents?
It ranges from for year-round soccer. It ranges from $175 to $1,050 for the higher level teams. It includes professional licensed coach. We've upgraded our coaching staff. We have a lot of former pro players, overseas players, licensed coaches, professionals. You get 2 practice sessions a week from an hour to 90 minutes. We have the Friday night Heights training, which is open club training, where we bring in trainers to come in and work with the kids. Our first one starts this Friday. It's open to anybody if you want to come out and try.
Do you work a lot with hype?
No, we haven't worked a lot with them. it's probably an opportunity that we can can explore and look into.
Sure.
So we do the training there next to the Hype at the Warrendale Park, the soccer fields there. We also started a juggling club ran by one of our coaches, Jimmy Mortada. We teach the fundamentals of juggling. Juggling is very important.
Tell us a little about juggling.
Yeah.
Well, it helps you with ball control. You know, how to control the ball, manage the ball with your dribbling skills. It's just something that we
When you say juggling to me, I'm thinking
it's juggling with the soccer ball.
Oh, okay, juggling.
Thank you.
All right, explain for our novice viewers and myself.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to help us out.
I'm thinking throwing a bowling.
Fire sticks, right?
Yeah.
To that point, like talk about like life lessons that kids learn by playing the sport of soccer. Your coaches talk about that and try.
Yeah, they influence them, with sportsmanship, good conduct, teamwork, respecting authority, as in the referees, coaches, other coaches,
Right.
just working together and always emphasize the education is first. I mean, a lot of these kids want to go play college soccer, but if your grades aren't good enough, you're not going to be playing college soccer. So we always try to focus on education first. You make sure that they're getting their homework done, they're getting good grades, so they can continue with their soccer career outside of the club.
What's your opinion on soccer and to be like a segue sport into other sports? I always thought if you started with soccer, you learn endurance and footwork, and it can help you in other sports.
Well, it's probably one of the better sports to start your child in at a young age, because it does teach them coordination, agility, a lot of the movements that they use in other sports, footwork, for football, basketball.
Yeah.
I once heard that Tyrone Wheatley, a former Robichaud alumni, started his sons in soccer.
Everybody says.
I did
Because that leads into other opportunities, and it gives them the training, endurance, conditioning, like I said, foot skills, agilities, to take on to different sports.
Wow. So, we're gonna show a little. I know you brought a 30-second clip, a little trailer about your organization and stuff. So we're gonna show the viewers this clip here briefly. Run the tape. Great video. So, any contact information for your organization? Any website?
Yeah,
phone
you can
number?
visit our website at dhsoccer.com. Also, our Facebook page, Michigan Mustang FC. Any questions, you can email us at dhsoccer@dhsoccer.com. Check out our Facebook page. We're on YouTube. And our website for all the exciting things that we got coming up in the near future.
Good. Danny, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That wraps it up.
Thank you.
That wraps up
Thank
our
you.
show for Jason Strayhorn and Vern Lundquist Crump. I'm Brian Mossallam. You have just watched Beyond the Highlights. Thank you.